What do you do if your ex says they love you, but they don't want to get back together? I'm going to talk about that in this video. And in my opinion, the last point of this video is actually the best. And I'm not just saying that to get you to watch the whole thing, but I am saying stick with these points because the last one is the strongest in my opinion. Number one, why your ex is saying that they love you, but they don't want to get back together. Usually it's because they haven't felt the loss yet. And that is, they don't believe that they could really lose you, or even if you have kind of shown some hints or demonstrated that you could be lost, they don't fully believe it yet. And usually that happens when there was a big imbalance in the relationship where maybe you put them on a pedestal and they didn't return that. And it was like you were always the one giving the compliments. You were always the one initiating things physically or initiating dates or things like that. And it just got to where one of you was more the pursuer and the other one was the prize. And that's an imbalance. Both of you should feel like the prize to the other person. And that's really important. You should make the person you're with feel like the prize, and they should make you feel like the prize. And they shouldn't feel like that just because you make them feel like the prize, that you're not the prize. You can see how that works. It should be balanced, and people should feel like that the relationship is equal in terms of the interest of both people and the love and the attraction of both people. But after the breakup, the bad imbalance is where they don't feel like they could lose you, that they still want the breakup, but you still want the relationship. And in their mind, it's just always going to be that way. And so you're kind of in backup plan and there's no pressure. And that's where they can even tell you, I still love you, but I don't want to get back together with you. And so it's really important that when you're the one who is broken up with, that you cause the other person and allow the other person to see that you could reach a point where you don't want the relationship again, and that can happen really quickly. And demonstrating that you can stay away from them, that you can not contact them, that you can not talk to your friends about them, and those kinds of things is how you show them you could be lost, and you want them to feel that loss. Number two, why your ex might say that they love you, but they don't want to get back together, is they were pressured too soon to do that. And so a lot of times I will tell people when your ex reaches out to you, it's not over. It does not mean that you two are back together. It means you have an opportunity. It means that you can reattract them. But what a lot of times happens is that the person who's contacted by their ex and they think, wow, they want to get back together after they broke up with me. This is great. You push too hard and you push too quickly for the relationship to be intact again, that the labels are back on it. When what you really want to do is you want to start over. You don't want to talk about this. You don't want to say, we're starting over and make it cheesy or something like that. But you do want to have that approach that we are not starting back where we were. And we're not going to go back into talking about all the issues and talking about the breakup and trying to get everything perfect. And that means we can get back together, because all that will do usually is make it where being around you and discussing things with you just becomes something where they feel anxiety and it's awkward and it's all this pressure and it's not something that they want to do. And so what you actually have to do is to reestablish the fun, the connection, them feeling wonderful when they're around you, them feeling that attraction rise again. And that comes with experiences and action. And I'm going to talk about that more later in this video, but don't push for the relationship too soon. Let it happen slowly and focus more on the moments and the experiences with them. Before I get to number three, get my emergency breakup kit. It can help you get your ex back. It's my guide to do that after a breakup when you feel like everything's hopeless. The emergency breakup kit can really help you. You can get that at myexbackcoach.com/EBK as an emergency breakup kit. So you go to my website and in under a minute, you can start the process of getting your ex back. That's myexbackcoach.com/EBK. Number three, sometimes your ex will say that they love you, but they don't want to get back together because the relationship spent an extended amount of time where it felt like no progress was being made. And what I mean by progress is that in the past, we had much clearer milestones. A couple would date for a while, then they would be exclusive. They would be boyfriend and girlfriend. Then there would be talk of engagement. When's he going to pop the question? When's he going to propose? And then he finally does. And now they have the wedding to look forward to. And then they have the wedding and they have the honeymoon. It's this time of celebration. And then they go to their residence and now they have a place together. This is our place and we are husband and wife and we are enjoying living together. And now what's next? It's a child. And so we had these milestones, and then the child's life has milestones. And it felt like the relationship was growing and progressing, like we are building something together. And a lot of the modern relationships don't have that. And some people are content with things just being as they are, but other people, they want to feel growth together. They want to feel like the relationship is, quote, going somewhere. And so when they don't feel that, a lot of times they can feel like that they do love you, but that they don't want to be with you because they feel like the relationship was stagnant and that was all it was ever going to be, even if they knew that those things might be coming in the future. If a long enough time period passes, even in our modern day, it does seem to have a negative impact on relationships. It's as though these things are natural within us. And so you have to consider that as a possibility if they're telling you that they love you, but they don't want to get back together. Obviously, you can't go back in time and change things, and you still need to do the things that I talk about. You need to be in no contact. You need to let them feel that you could be lost and that maybe even they're losing you, that you're getting away from them. But you can't push for things to move faster than they do organically and naturally with your ex. And you can't go back in time and change things. This is a conversation for another time. And this would be something more discussed on a coaching session with me, which you can book at myexbackcoach.com. But this could be what is holding your ex back if they tell you that they love you, but they aren't ready to get back together. It could be that not enough time has passed, because sometimes it can take a while. If this person is being encouraged by people around them, and a lot of times this does seem to affect women more than men, where they have this support group around them telling them to stick with the breakup. Sometimes people like to meddle in other people's lives, and they even get some sense of achievement by destroying a relationship just because they get to feel like they are somewhat involved in this person and they're shaping this person. They might even be introducing this person to somebody new. I know all that sounds scary, and it's even infuriating that somebody else would meddle in your life like that. But that could be the case. No contact is still your best bet, because it can cause your ex to actually think of these people as their enemy, like that they actually messed the situation up and they caused them to make a mistake. It comes down to them feeling that they're losing you, that you could stay away. You're strong enough to stay away, and therefore you're strong enough to move on. And that makes them actually really take the decision seriously. Do I really want this breakup? Because it's one thing to think you want to break up when you think you could get the other person back any moment, that all you'd have to do is decide and say, okay, yes, let's get back together, and the other person would come running. You see where that's a much different situation than breaking up with someone and then a few weeks later starting to think, maybe I couldn't get them back. And of course you're thinking, why would they want me back? Well, they don't at first, but a lot of that is because they think that they could get it back any second. It feels worth very little to them. But when they start to think that they could not get you back, that they could actually get to a place where they want you back, but they couldn't get you back, then it becomes more serious, and those little doubts become more important to them. They look at those more closely. It's sort of like gambling when you think that you're going to win and that the odds are really good that you're going to win. There's not as much pressure. But when you take a gamble and you realize you could lose, you can kind of see how that can make you feel differently. And so your ex, when they break up with you, usually they know that you want the relationship and you want them. So they don't really feel like they're losing anything. They feel like that they might even get the best of both worlds, that they could move on, and if it seemed like maybe it was the wrong decision, they could just get you back. But you take that rug out from under them. You just snatch it from under their feet, and now we have a situation where they have to really look at this closely and seriously, and a lot of times they can start to think that maybe they made a mistake. So sometimes when they're telling you that they do love you but they don't want to get back together, first of all, I'm wondering, how did the conversation cause them to say that? Were you trying to push them into getting back together? Were you trying to put the label back on it? Were you breaking no contact and begging and pleading? Usually it's when you have done what you shouldn't do after a breakup. So keep that in mind. It's never too late to do the right thing. So do that. Go into no contact. Let them feel you can stay away. Show them you're strong enough for that. Number 5, this is the one I said, oh, this is the best one. And I alluded to it just a little bit earlier. But the key here is that action is more important than words. And so when your ex does start interacting with you, a lot of people think, oh good, I can talk to them about the problems that caused the breakup. Maybe that'll help us get back together. That's not what you want to do. That's kind of like if you were in the hospital and maybe you had broken an arm or a leg or something, and a few days later the doctor's saying, okay, you need to get up and start running. We can't let you get out of shape now. That's not how it works. The bone has to heal to a point where it can at least take that kind of pressure. The same is true with the relationship. Just because they reach out to you, it doesn't mean that you say, okay, so are you ready to get back together? Or will you come back? Or can we get back together? No, that's when you know that you have an opportunity to increase attraction even more, that something has caused them to feel some loss, which helps with attraction, but you need to actually build the relationship again like you're starting over. It doesn't always happen that that's the case. Sometimes your ex can be aggressive and even say, I was wrong and I want to get back together. I'm referring to when they just contact you and they're talking to you and you're like, okay, what's going to happen? Why are we just talking casually? What is the point of this? Usually that means that it's not quite there yet in terms of attraction and that you need to rebuild that. And you do that by action, by positive experiences, by flirting, by fun, by being passionate about things in life. That's how you can rebuild attraction. That's what you want to focus on, the actions of doing that, the playfulness. You don't want to try to have the talk because that makes us all feel anxiety. It feels awkward. It's not an enjoyable experience. And you want them to get to a point where they feel like they are ready and that they really know what they want to be with you, and that they even say, let's get back together. That's ideal. So don't push it. Focus on action and experiences and how they feel when they're around you. That's how you can get them back after they reach out from no contact. Remember to get my emergency breakup kit. You can get it right now actually and start the process of getting your ex back. You can also book a coaching session with me or a coach on my staff at myexbackcoach.com. That link will be in the description below, and it's an easy thing to do. I look forward to speaking with you, or if you're in the emergency breakup kit, you're going to see a lot of me there in the videos within that kit. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.